Alright, so I'm going to be using this helping hands tool. I was given this to review by a company. I don't think we need these magnetic clamps, so let's go ahead and remove those. Alright. Oh, this one's hard to remove. Alright, let's see here. Gotta stick these somewhere out of the way. It's nice that they're magnetic so I can stick them on my area out of the way. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to use these. So these have little spikes that will help hold the board in place, and hopefully that'll work. Here's what I did to the port. I basically broke all the plastic bits off, basically just kind of found ways to pull it around, break off pieces, and then I was able to grab and slide the rest of it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this. I'm going to just have this go through the little screw mount here. Looks like that works well. We'll put this one over here. Okay. Go. Yeah, I think this thing will actually work really nicely. Get the other one over here. Okay, we need one over here. Okay, so now we got a good solid working surface with it held levitated up. Okay, maybe I'll put another one. Since we have so many, I might as well just put them all here to help hold it in case I need to push down or anything, but I think we should be good. Okay, so we need to basically heat this stuff up. Let me zoom in here for you guys. So now we got to heat these and then slowly pull these things out. For that, I'm going to use a soldering iron. I feel that'll be more useful. Okay, so we're going to use the soldering iron, heat it up, and then pull it out with the needle nose pliers. So I have this with some solder on it. We might have to add some flux to help, but let's see. Wow, this thing takes a lot of heat. It's still not melting the solder to let me pull this out. What in the world? We're probably gonna have to add flux to help loosen this thing up because it doesn't want to come out at all. But it's also hard to grab this because it broke off. So let's see, maybe I can grab like this at a weird angle. Okay, and let's try and heat it again. And if it doesn't come out, we're gonna have to add some more solder and stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's coming out. All right, let's add some flux and more solder here. So let me grab that, I'll be back. All right, let's add some flux to this thing. All right. There we go, and let's go ahead and heat it up. Okay, we'll also add some more solder. All right. So I'm going to heat it up and then I'm going to push some solder into it, and hopefully that will allow it to get more heat into it. Okay, there we go. Don't breathe that in. All right, let's go ahead and pull this thing out. Hopefully it will come out as we heat it. Okay, where am I going to grab this? There's not much room to grab it anymore. Here. Wow, it still doesn't want to come out. Jeez. The heat's going all directly into that pin and it's not coming out. Okay, let's try flipping it over. I might have to use the claw helping hands thing. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna have to add solder to the back here. Okay. All right, let's readjust all these little metal spike things. Okay. All right, sorry. A lot of this I'm doing is kind of off screen because I'm trying to adjust the placement of this to hold it. Okay, so let's go ahead now and add some solder to the backs of this, and maybe that will help. I think the stuff that's here is probably not good. Wow, okay, it's sticking really strong. Okay, I was able to push it down a little, so now I'm going to try and grab it with the needle nose pliers from the other end, heat it here, and then pull it down. Come on. There we go. Okay, we got that little leg out. Okay, get that off. All right, let's go ahead and pull the other one down. So here we have the other side. It's the whole casing because this one didn't break like the other. So we're going to heat this. We're going to add some solder there. Okay, and hopefully now we'll be able to pull this down. No wonder why the hot air wasn't working. Wow, look at that. I'm putting like a lot of heat into it and it's like hard to remove this. It moved a little. Almost there. There we go. All right, so now we got this piece out. We are gonna have to clean the old solder out. I'm gonna use the solder sucker or solder vacuum, whatever you wanna call it, to get that out. So we'll do that in a bit, but let's see if we can get these pins out. So we're gonna have to heat each one of these and pull those down. Okay. And again, since we broke the plastic part and everything around it out, now we only have to heat each pin separately. So this should make it easier to remove these. Wow, the solder stuck to it and it's still not coming down. These things are really stuck on there. Okay, let's go ahead and add some flux to that. Okay, we're just gonna put a little bit. To help remove any oxidation and stuff. All right, hopefully you guys are able to see what's going on. I'm gonna grab this again. We're gonna pull it down as we heat it. Oh. I might have to add more solder to this one as well. All right, let's add more solder to all of these, I guess. Yeah, look how difficult it is to get these out. Even with only needing to pull one pin, it doesn't want to come out. That's insane. Let me set the temperature higher because I only had it at 250. Could be that's the problem. Clearing these holes out is probably going to be very difficult. Wow, it still doesn't want to come out. Heat it from the other side as well. Yeah, it doesn't want to come out. Let's flip it over and then try heating from the other side. Oh man, it's going to need a lot of adjusting. Let's zoom out here so you can kind of see better what I'm doing. I'm going to have to take these out of the way again. Okay. Alright, and we only need 4. Okay, so I think we were heating this one. Let's see, how are we gonna get this out? It doesn't want to come up. So grab this guy, heat up the whole leg, and try to doesn't want to move. Oh my goodness. All the heat's going into this leg and it doesn't want to move. Do I need to set it even higher? I don't want it too hot. It's going to destroy things. How is it not moving? I'm going to hold this down and wow, even with all that, it's not doing anything. Let's try a little more flux. Try and get the flux onto this side. Maybe it's... Okay. Let's try again. It doesn't want to come out at all. Jeez. It doesn't want to come out. I don't know what I'm going to do. These pins don't want to come out. Let's try this guy. None of these want to come out. That's insane. I don't know what to do. They don't want to come off. Let's see here. The only other thing I can do is just, I don't know. I don't know what to do. They don't want to come out at all. Let's see, where did I put the other guy? Okay. Need another one up here. I don't know what to do because these pins don't want to come out at all. I put a lot of heat and they're not moving. A lot of heat, a lot of solder, flux. Nothing's happening. Do I need to heat it to 400? I feel like that's going to destroy something. Let's get a little more flux on there. It's too much. Coming out at all. Okay, I'm going to clean it, add some new solder there, see if that does anything, but we already put a lot. Why is this not coming out? It's not coming out at all. It doesn't want to come out. Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna try turning it higher, but I don't know. It doesn't want to move at all. More flux. It's not coming out. At this point, it's going to be a whole bunch of burnt flux there. Let's see. Okay, let's try it again. Why won't it come off? Let's try more solder. I'm just going to break the whole solder, this leg off, and then see if that reduces the thermal mass and makes it easier. Because I don't know how else I'm going to... Come on. Just grab it. This thing's completely now falling down. I don't think that's going to do anything. Let's try and pull it, heat it, pull it. How is this possible? What is holding it? Okay, we'll flip it one more time. Put some more flux and solder and see. Jeez, I don't know. I don't know. If this one single thing is not coming out, how am I going to get the other ones out? Okay, let's see. I don't know. Oh, this way. Okay. Make sure I don't accidentally. The only thing with this is I have to make sure I don't accidentally pick up any of the screws on accident. All right. Some flux on this side. Pull this, I need to grab it. Oh, there we go. All right, finally got that one out. We'll see if I can clear out the little hole afterwards. Let's see, can we get this guy out now? This one. This one's not coming out either. Okay, let's go flip it over and then to the other side with the flux and everything. Okay. Sorry, I have to keep readjusting these magnets to better spots. Okay. Let's see here. So let's try and get this guy. Okay, I think what happened was I was doing the other side, but let's go ahead and get some flux there. Okay, we're gonna have to put some solder on there as well. Okay. Come on. Okay. Let's see if, oops, am I going out of view? There we go. Let's see if we can pull this guy down. Nope. Come on. More solder. Up, and then oh, it's not. Wow, this really doesn't want to come out. Okay, let's get more flux in there again. And then flip it over and do the same. Doesn't want to come out. Okay, let's flip it over and do the other side again. This is a long process, man. Okay. See here. So we gotta pull this side up. Let's put some more flux there and more solder. Let's heat it up and then add more solder there. Okay. Let's heat it and try and pull. I might have to bend and then almost break this one off like the other one, because it seems like that's the only way that it works. Let's bend this pin up. Wiggle it. Come on. Is it working? I think it might be working now. The wiggling helps. Yep, alright, it's coming loose. There we go. Alright. Jeez, these are a pain. Okay, next one. then I gotta clear out all those holes. This probably isn't gonna do anything on its own. I'm gonna have to add, it's squeaking. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. See these? Okay, let's get out the other one over here. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to add more flux there as well. Right, and then we're gonna add more solder again. I'm gonna actually put the solder directly on the soldering iron, just so it will just stick directly. Okay, we'll grab this guy with the solder stuck on it. I'm just gonna wiggle it as I kind of heat it. Hope it eventually wiggles loose. Okay, it's wiggling. There we go. All right, so it looks like heating it and wiggling it back and forth helps get the corrosion off, or the oxidation. Let's see this middle one back here. Oh, this one was way easier. Okay, there we go. So that one was way easier for some reason. Now we got to clean up the solder there so we can drop in the new one. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna reposition the camera so I can hopefully show you guys this, and yeah, I'll be back. All right, so I readjusted this, and I'm actually now using these with the side grooves, as you can see. Oh, sorry, hard to show you. But yeah, as you can see, now I'm actually using it so that these just hold in the little grooves, and this works really well. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna heat this, and then we're gonna use the solder sucker to pull the solder out. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So the camera is going to be confusing to me now because it's actually upside down, but we'll do what we got to do. All right, so got the soldering iron. Okay, we're going to have to add a little solder to this one because it's kind of low. I don't know if I can zoom in enough to show this better. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's see, where do I? Okay, so hopefully you guys will be able to see. This one needs a little more solder here, so we're going to solder this. Instead of looking at what I'm recording, I'm just going to look at what I'm working on, and hopefully that'll be good enough that you guys can tell what's going on. So we're going to heat that and add some solder in there. Okay, come on, it's not wanting to go. There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna get that solder all over there. Sorry, you're looking at my feet, but here we go. We're gonna use the solder sucker underneath it, and we're basically just gonna heat this up and then press the button to pull the solder through. Alright, and it looks like it didn't completely clean it up. We're gonna add some flux there. Hopefully that will help clean it up. Okay, then we gotta add some more solder there. Might have the temperature too high right now. I'm gonna lower it to 350. I'll probably have to lower it more. We'll see. Okay, there we go. We'll do the solder sucker again. Heat it up and pull it through. Let me lower the temperature down to about 300 Celsius. Okay, let's take a look now. It's mostly cleared up. There's still a little bit in there, so we're gonna have to heat it again and then see if we can suck out the remainder. If not, we're gonna have to add more again and then pull it through. Yeah, let's see, it's not going, so. Okay, let's try it again. We'll have to add a little more solder again here. Just to fill the whole gap. Okay, we're gonna have to smear it around to basically seal it off, and then, all right. The top edge here doesn't seem to want to get pulled in. We're going to put a little more flux again and do this again. Okay, let's add some more solder again. Seal it off again. Okay. And then heat it up. Doesn't want to completely go through. Come on. Let's try with it a little over the edge here. Not wanting to pull all the solder out. Let's heat it up, add some more solder again. Okay. There we go. Alright, that looks good. Let's go ahead and do the other side. Somebody's calling me. Hopefully it's not a customer. Get it up and pull it through. Didn't pull it all out. Let's go ahead and add some solder again. Not wanting to pull it through. Let's add some flux again. Okay. Let's heat it up. And pull it through. It's getting a little bit slowly, and I don't know if the whatever solder they use is like very high temperature or there's a lot of impurities in it, oxidation or what. If somebody knows if I'm doing something wrong, let me know. I don't solder too often. Almost there. Let's put a little more flux in there. Maybe I should get that liquidy flux that's in a syringe. That might make this easier, but alright, add some solder again. Let me clean the soldering iron off. Some new solder. Okay. Clean up the oxidation. Heat it up and suck it through. Sorry, I can't tell. Looks like it still needs a little more. Hold on, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's continue this. Okay. It's not wanting to get all of it out. I'm wondering if I need to flip it over to do the other side, but let's go ahead and do some more solder here. And yeah, I might have to flip it over and do the other side. Let's go ahead and continue with the other ones. I don't think this is gonna work on these, because remember, this one was like really hard to do, so I don't know. Let me see if I look at the other side. I wonder if I can just flip it over because it has the little pokey pegs and I don't have to keep... Only thing is now it might lift up the board. Let me put another one on the other end. Okay. Alright, let's try heating the other side here and see if that just clears it out. Okay, let's see if we can now pull the rest of that solder through the other way. Oh, that worked. Okay. I think the board on this model is too thick. That's the problem. That didn't work too well. Getting all this flux in here. Alright, let's try adding a little solder on this side as well. Okay. Yeah, it's not quite all going here to the edge. Let's try a little flux. And let's try some more solder. Oop. I accidentally knocked the board down. Okay, let me fix this and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's do this again. It's a long process because it's so difficult to get this solder out for some reason. Solder doesn't even want to move. Alright, let's get some solder. Soldering iron. This upper edge, it doesn't want to get pulled in. There has to be a way I can get in there to heat it or clean it up or something. Let's try more flux. Okay. Getting it all the way in there. And go. edge doesn't want to get cleaned up. Let's heat it up again and then try one more time. Yeah, that's a lot better, but it still doesn't look perfect. Anyways, we'll just continue on. Let's go ahead and heat this side up as well. Okay, that's probably about as good as we're gonna get it. Let's heat up this. Let's get all this cleaned up. Adding more flux and more solder for these. Way too much. Okay. Let's go ahead and heat that all up. Put some new solder on it. Okay. There's that. I'm probably gonna have to flip it again. Alright, let me take a look at the bottom, see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to flip it and then clean it up, add new solder to the other side as well. Oops, sorry. It's difficult working with the camera upside down, so it's like mirrored. Alright, let me flip this over and I'll be back. Alright, let's continue this. Let's again try and clean up the solder over here. Okay, now how am I gonna pull all this solder out? Let's see. Let's try. Try heating this and see if we can pull the solder through. Nope, nothing. I'm gonna probably have to try the solder wick, but I don't think it's gonna work too well. We'll try. This stuff's not even melting too well. Whatever this solder's must be connected to. Okay, that's working better. Also difficult. These must be like ground. Those ones must be ground pins or something because they're really hard to melt. Let's try this. Okay, kind of worked, almost. Okay, the middle one worked really well. Actually, that pulled both of these. Okay, so we need to still get this guy. Let's get some new solder in there. This one's a huge pain in the butt. I might have to pull the solder the other direction for this one because there's too many components on the other side, I believe. I think that's why it's not going. Alright, let's put a little more solder there and see. We'll try. One more time from this side. If not, we'll have to do the other side. Yeah, we're gonna have to do the other side. What about this guy? Those don't come out. It's getting like black stuff burnt on it. What in the world? What is that black stuff? These are probably going to need to be from the other side. Those two pins are really hard. They're not melting. So let me flip it over again, and then we'll try and get this one from the other side. I think the other two are clear. Alright, we're back. Let's go ahead and try this again from the other side. Doesn't seem to want to come through though, so I don't know. We'll see. And, oh, that might have worked. Sorry, I gotta put my head over top to see. Alright, let's try these corner ones. Yeah, these, they can take a lot of heat. They're not, let me take a closer look here. Okay, we almost got all of the other side. I'm gonna flip it over. I gotta be careful because it's gonna fall out like last time, I think, but let's see. I'm just gonna heat that a little bit because we got most of it, but the hole's not completely cleared open on this side. Let me see if I can pull that last bit of solder through. Nope. Flip it back the other way. Sorry if I went out of view. It's hard to record this. Let's see, I think this middle one. Yeah, okay. Got it. There we go. These guys seem okay. Alright, these last ones, they really don't want to come out. Let's try again. Yeah, they really don't want to come out. I'm gonna try with the what do you call, wick, solder wick, and let's see if we can get it out with that. Uh-oh, my solder wick is missing. Let me see if I can find it. I'll be back. Alright, let's try the solder wick and see if we can somehow get that to come out. It doesn't want to come out. Let me cut this off. I'm gonna put some more flux on there to make it more effective. Okay. All right, let's try this again. I don't think it's working. I did pull a little bit. It's only pulling like a tiny bit. Cut that off again. Let's try some more flux here. Okay. All right, let's try it again. Barely working. Okay, you might have to go from the other side after this, and hopefully let's try this one as well. Okay. All right, let's try some more. We're getting there a little bit, little by little. Might have to just push the charge port through while I'm heating it because it doesn't want to go. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna clean off. Let's try and clean off this the flux. I'm gonna use some isopropyl alcohol on a paper towel, and we're just gonna try and clean it off. All right, sorry, it's garbage day, so it's noisy right now. All right, let's see if we can clean off the flux here. Make it a little bit easier to see and easier to work on. Okay, it's cleaner now, easier to see. All right, let me flip this over and I'll be back again. All right, back, we flipped it over. Let's go ahead and clean up this side as well because there's a lot of flux all over everything. And hopefully I'll make it easier to see and easier to get it repaired. Wow, there's a lot of flux kind of burn on there. I'm gonna need a new piece of paper to do this better. Okay. Some more. Let's put alcohol. Okay, clean that up. Three in the middle definitely look good. Two outer ones are going to be a big pain. This stuff is not cleaning off too well. Almost there. Adjust this. Okay. Make sure it's being held down well. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue cleaning this up. Let's see if I can pull the excess off of this as well. Okay, now the solder wick is stuck to that. Let's put a little flux on it. And hopefully that will help wick it all the way in. Oh man, it's stuck on there. Come on, let go. This solder doesn't seem to want to melt well. I think this is one of the ones we were having issues with earlier. Let's try and get some solder in there and then see if I can pull it back through. Yeah, that one doesn't really want to go completely out. About as good as we're going to get that one. Let's clean up this stuff here. Yeah, this stuff, these two pins don't want to like melt, so it must be a ground. Alright, let's clean this up and then try using the wick to pull it out. But it's not looking like it's gonna happen. Some of it out. Now this is stuck to it. Come on, let go. Yeah, this must be to a ground. It's like really hard to melt. go. Okay. Try a little bit more. So I don't know how we're gonna do these pins that don't melt at all. Let's try this one. We'll put a little flux there to make it melt better. Okay, let's see. It's working, but not quite. Okay. Getting it, slowly getting there. Okay, let's put some more flux and do that again. It worked pretty well. Okay, try this again. Come out. Not working. Let's try a little more flux. Let's cut this off and do it again. Slowly, slowly but surely. It's definitely now below the surface. Okay, let's try this again. Almost. All right, let's try this side as well now. I need more flux for this one. Get stuck to it again. Jeez. Okay, let's put some more flux and see if that helps. This side's definitely much more difficult. But if that's the last pin, hopefully I'll be able to heat it up and then push the charge port through. Wow, this one's really stuck. Yeah, that one really doesn't want to come out. Okay, let's trim this and try again a little bit more. Okay, let's put a bit more flux on it. Alright, let's try again. Alright, let's try getting it to suck in. Come on. It's only getting like very tiny bits at a time. All right, I'm gonna flip the board over again and then we'll try one last try. All right, let's give this one more try. It's looking like it really doesn't want to go though. Okay, let's put a little flux on this. We're most likely gonna just have to heat it and then push it through, because it doesn't look like it's gonna want to go. Let's try this. Okay, looks like that side's as much as we're gonna get it. Let's try the other one, and then flip it one more time, take a look, and see what we can do. A little more flux here. All right, last try. Let's see what we got. It is pulling more of it out. Okay. Take this off and try it again. All right, flip it one more time. Alright, last try. Let's see what we got. Clean up. Do we need to add any more flux here? No. This one's really like, it's leaving behind stuff there as well. I'm gonna try one other thing. I have my little metal toothpick thing. Let's see if I can somehow poke through there while I'm heating it up. No, I don't think it's working. Let's try with a little more flux, but if that doesn't work, then I guess we're gonna have to try just heating it and see. While I'm heating it, I can't push that through. Nope, doesn't want to work. Let's try putting a little flux on, a little solder on it. Nothing. Alright, doesn't look like we can push it through, so we're just gonna have to clean up that solder and then, well, I don't know, we'll see what we can do with this. I don't know what else to try. We're pretty much at the end. We're just gonna have to not waking it up. It's the best we can do. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and get the charge port and see if we can somehow get that thing in. All right, so here's the charge port. All right, it goes in from up here. I mean, the wings go in, this goes, but the problem is these back pins. I don't know how we're gonna get those in. So, all right, let me flip this over again, and then we'll have to see. I'm gonna have to try and heat this and then see if I can push one corner at a time. All right, I'll be back. All right, we flipped it over. Let's see what we can do. So we're basically going to hold this into place, and I'm gonna be trying to push the corner in while I'm like heating it up, and we'll see if we can somehow get that pin to go in. We're just gonna add a bunch of solder there, and we're just gonna hope. We're gonna have to just hope it works. Okay, so I put some solder on the soldering iron tip, and we're just gonna heat it while we try and push it into place. Okay, so make sure everything else is in nicely. Okay, then we're gonna try and push this, heat it up. Come on, go in there. Doesn't seem to want to go. Actually, I think it's in. It's holding itself. Let's flip it over and take a look. It's kind of in, yeah. Okay. Let's try and do the other corner now. We're gonna have to just slowly work our way corner by corner, and hopefully we can slowly work it up higher and higher. Okay. Add a little more solder. All right, we're gonna heat this side and pull it up. Ooh, that pin's getting hot, so I think we're good. Okay, let's go ahead and try and push this one again. Okay, I think I feel the pin coming through. That's good. Let's go ahead and do this one. I don't feel this pin, so this side's not as good. But it might be all we can do. It's getting super hot. Okay. Let me see here. Let's flip it over and take a look again. Uh-oh, I think my phone battery's almost dead. Ooh, this one's not lined up now. Okay, I need to flip it and push the other part in now. Oops, need to make sure this board doesn't fall down. Okay. I'm gonna flip this over now. And we'll take a look at the other side because now, okay, that didn't work. I dropped the board. So this side is not lined up now, but as you can see, this, oops, sorry, what am I looking at? Can't even see what I'm looking at. This mirror thing is, okay, so this one is in, this one needs to go, and this side also needs to go down. So now, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna push this side down. This one I definitely need to push this leg over and slowly work it in as well. Okay, so I'm gonna probably get this in first. Let me zoom out here. I'm probably gonna get this piece in first, and then the thing holding that will end up pulling it. So while I pull this in, okay. So now that I'm holding that, I can hopefully get some solder into this. It's gonna burn me probably, but it is what it is. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, let me see how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna push that in and hold that into place. And then I need to heat this side with some solder and flux. So I'm gonna put the flux in first. And this is most likely gonna burn my hand. All right, so I'm gonna get some solder onto the soldering iron. Okay, now the soldering iron is prepped. I'm gonna push this guy in. Oops. In. Okay, this needs to stay bent outwards over there. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. How am I gonna make it stay in there? Okay, I'll use my fingernail and then risk burning my finger off. I don't even know what I'm showing you guys. This is... That's gonna end up burning my finger off. I need to hold it like this, probably. Let's see if I can push it with the needle nose pliers down. Okay, that should be good. It's staying in the right spot now. Okay, now while I'm holding this, I'm gonna have to heat it, put the solder onto it. Where'd the solder that I put on it go? I need to put more solder on the iron. Okay. Now we gotta put that onto. And go in there. Okay, it's not really wanting to stay. So now I'm gonna have to solder it from this side. And the weight of the board is helping pull it down, so I think that should be okay. Let me see if I can solder this one here. All right, let me get this clamped up or in the thing and I'll be back. All right, let's try this again. Now we'll put some of the flux here and we'll try and just solder this side down. Okay. Pull that down and then let's try and solder this. It's not wanting to get soldered into place. Need a ball of solder to hold it. Oh, we got solder on the ground. Need it to stick to this, not to that. Well, let's just spread that solder thin now since it's stuck on there already. That one's not wanting to go on. I don't know what to do. What do I do? What do I do? Oh man, it doesn't want to go. Alright, let's try this again, I guess. This is taking way more effort and time than I was expecting. Why is this one being such a pain? Okay, well. Let's see. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, finally got that soldered down. Now, are we going to be able to heat this up to get that leg in? Is it going to want to flow into place? It's not looking like it. Actually, maybe, might be now. Okay. Let's see. So let's try and heat this up again and see if we can move it anymore. Oh, now it just popped back down. Okay, now it's holding itself in place. That's good. Let's go ahead and flip this over again. All right, let's try heating this one and see if it will fall in. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's worth a try. Put a little solder on it. Now let's heat this leg. How am I gonna get that leg to fall in? I don't even know how I can get the heat to the bottom. I can't push on it, it'll just burn my hand off. Okay, let's try putting some flux in there. Since heating it from the other side's not working. Let's try this. Let's try pushing it down with this. It looks like it might have gone a little bit down. I don't know. All right, let's try getting some solder down there. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we'll try. Yeah, I don't know. Let's flip it over and take a look again. All right, let's try pushing it some more. Heat it again from this side. Get off the excess solder. And we'll heat it from this side again. Let's take away the excess solder again. Okay, let's hit this. It doesn't want to melt this one corner. That's the problem. I don't know what to do about that. The ground is too much. It has too much thermal mass there. Let's put a little more solder. See, that one back pin does not want to go. Okay, I think all the pins are up far enough that I can get them. I'm gonna have to test this pin for continuity though. Okay, let's do a quick test with the voltmeter and see if we're actually getting this pin going all the way through. So at least then we'll know that we should be okay. Okay, I'm gonna use a voltmeter. Right. Let's take a look here. So we're gonna poke this guy and this guy. Okay, these aren't grounded. This. So I was right. These two are actually ground. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. But now let's see if we get this pin. If it. See. Oh. Okay, it's going. So I'm just touching this pin. Yep. Okay, so that pin is good, it's soldered. So we're gonna now just have to solder the last 3. Well, 4 technically, I guess. Let me put away this and I'll be back. Alright, well, my phone's at 7%, so I had to plug it in. Hopefully it's not making any buzzing sounds or anything like that. Let's go ahead now and get the last few parts soldered in. Okay, we're going to put some flux over those areas. Okay. This one might be a little tricky. I'm going to have to test them all with the voltmeter afterwards, just because the pins are a little bit deep down in there. They don't make them stick up through very far, and that has me a little worried. Alright, so get some flux in there. Alright, let's first get the grounds all soldered in. Okay, we'll get this guy. This one's soldered over here. Okay, there we go. Double check this guy. Good. Alright, let's go ahead and get these tiny ones. It's a little tricky, but okay. Good. Oh, last one. Alright, now we gotta flip it over, double check the other side, and then we should be good. Alright, so let's take a look at this side. Alright, there's no flux here, so we're gonna have to put some flux on this side as well. This side, you can see it all made it through, so we should be okay, but I'm gonna try and get, I don't know if it's gonna stick to here. It doesn't look like it will. We'll try. Get a little bit through on this side just to make sure it holds tight. Okay. Let's get some cleaned up. Alright. Up. Seem to want to stick to this. We might have to just live with that. Alright, let's try this one. This one worked fine. Why isn't the other one working? Okay, you can see that one's soldered well. All the solder is just going onto the ground around it. Let's see if I can even clean that stuff off now. Try and clean this. The solder wick works on these big puddles here. Yeah, it doesn't want to go into that little gap there for some reason, so I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Maybe I need to try and clean it a little bit first with some isopropyl alcohol, and then it will stick. Let's try. There's not much room here. That's part of the problem, to really solder this in. Let's see. All right, let's try a little more, but I don't think it's gonna work. That's not. Oh, there we go. We basically had to fill that whole gap. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and do these. Perfect. Perfect. All right. This one here. This one needs some flux. All right. Last pin, and then we gotta reassemble. Put a little more solder in there. But it looks like it should be good. All right. Last thing we need to do is to test all of it. But it looks like we're good to go. Okay. We're done. We should be done with the soldering iron. Okay, so now we just gotta clean it up and then test it. So I'm gonna clean this up with some isopropyl alcohol again on a paper towel. We're just gonna wipe all that brown stuff away best we can. More. Looks like it's working well. All right, let's use a toothbrush to clean it up a little. Give me a second. Okay. Brush this off a little bit. All right, and then we'll flip it over, do the other side. Give me a second. Okay, let's go ahead and clean this side. More isopropyl alcohol. All right. After all that, everything will be working okay. Okay, let me get a new one. Okay. Okay, let's brush this off as well. Okay. Let's get a little bit more isopropyl alcohol, clean it a little bit more. I think we're just about done though. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'll brush this off again. Alright, so next thing we gotta do, we gotta test each one. So I'm gonna now tilt it over. Let's actually use the little clip thing. So let me get this all clipped up and I'll be back. Alright, let's test the pins. So we're going to test the front and back. So first thing, obviously, we can just test these. These should both be connected to each other. Oh, there you go. I was like, why isn't it shorting? Okay, now we'll check this pin. Let me see if I can zoom in to show you guys better. I'm like running out of room here. Okay. So there you can see all the pins, and hopefully you can see this. Oh, not really. There's a glare. How do I need to put something under here. Let's try that. Okay. All right. So now we're going to test this pin, and we're just going to touch from the bottom. Yep. All right. Second one. Second pin. We'll touch that one, and we'll go to the bottom. Do this. I can't see both sides at the same time. Yep. Okay. Third pin. Okay. Fourth pin. Yep. And the last pin. Yep. And okay. And these two pins don't, even though they're both to ground, I think they don't actually, oh, they do short to each other. Okay. So these two pins and these two pins are both to ground. Okay. Anyways, that's it. Let's go ahead and reassemble this thing. All right. I'll be back once I get all of this separated. But you can see how I set it up and it's being held with those clamps, so very useful. All right. This helping hands thing has been very useful. And yeah, if you do a lot of solder work or other things where you need something to be kind of held down in place like that, this thing's pretty nice. All right, with all those magnets and everything, works really well.